Welcome both Henny Booters. Henny is our AG for Sector 2. And so we'll welcome Henny. And also with us today is our guest speaker, Brenda Tipton. So Brenda is our new district governor, having taken her position just the beginning of July. So welcome very much, Brenda. We're very glad to have you here. And I'm not sure if she's going to say it earlier. She is the CEO, which is the Chief Excitement Officer, I believe, something along that line. And we'll find out why pretty soon. So welcome to both. Our normal thing is we jump into our happy thoughts, but what I'm going to do first is we will open our meeting with our guest speaker here with a Star-Spangled Banner, and we will close with O Canada. So I'll ask Julia if you would play us in, please. Thank you, Julia. Appreciate you stepping up to the plate here for us. And not one, I'm afraid, Brenda, that we play on the regular basis. So in your honor. So we'll start our first meeting back. This is now our centennial year. So we want to welcome all of our members into our 100th year of Rotary for Chatham, Rotary Club of Chatham. And we open up with our happy thoughts, and we should all be putting or saving up a buck or two, because we need to definitely get the coffers going with regard to that. But the one indication is the satellite club to the Rotary Club of Chatham has had their first meeting, and we're starting the process for getting everything in place. It's been about 2 to 3 years in pulling it together. Somehow or other, we got forgot about by RI after everything had been sent in. So they finally got us back on track, and very happy to get that club started up. So more to follow on that as we move along. So I'm going to open it up for happy thoughts. And since it's been a whole month, I'm sure there's many that we'll need to get through. If you could just raise your hand. And we'll start with Tony, please.
I got in my kayak yesterday for the first time in a year. And I ended up going all the way up McGregor Creek to the cemetery from our house, which round trip is a total of 17 kilometers. And, wow. When I got back, I was exhausted. We live on a quite steep slope down to the water, and I sat in my kayak for a long time and just kind of looked up the hill and thought about getting out of my boat, but made it. And I'm still walking.
I was gonna say he can move.
17 kilometers is a pretty good first trek. Peter Tanner, I think I saw something from you there.
Yeah, we had an interesting time. Our grandson, 4-year-old grandson, was informed by, well, my daughter was informed by his daycare camp or summer camp that his cohort had a COVID infection. And so basically they had the choice. My daughter and Henrik, the grandson, could go someplace could go back to the family, but then the whole family would have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Or we suggested to them that they come here and quarantine with us. We're both fully vaccinated. So the risk to us is pretty low. And so she discussed it with her older 2 kids and was immediately voted off the island. And so they spent 8 days here. They're basically released from the quarantine after 8 days because, you know, you're in discussion with the public health people, and the public health people said nobody else, no symptoms, nobody else got COVID from that cohort. So after 8 days, with my daughter working here from here, and we were looking after Henrik, and of course it's an ideal situation to quarantine because the beach here is empty. So you can quarantine on the Sandytown beach, and got a large backyard for soccer and playing. So it was a minimal pain quarantine for him.
Yeah, but how were you with soccer?
Well, my ribs are getting a little better after I fell once playing soccer with my older grandson. Because for 6 weeks, we were spending 2-3 days a week at her house, looking after the kids, keeping them fixed in front of the monitors for their online education so that their parents could work.
Thank you, Peter. Any other happy thoughts? Tom Story, please, then Barry.
For those who weren't following Olympics that closely this morning, excuse me, Andre DeGrasse won a gold in the 200.
Yes.
Tom, I have that taped. I was going to watch that when I got home.
Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, too bad.
Barry Fraser, please.
Yeah, just having heard Peter talk about his 2 grandchildren down, we had 5 here for a space of about 2 weeks in the latter part of July.
Oh,
We look forward to the peace and quiet after they left, but we certainly enjoyed them all here. Our oldest grandson is 13 now, soon to be 14, and he, because of our daughter having detasseled seed corn, she was quite keen about him being in the seed corn business. So for 9 straight days, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make porridge and to be with our daughter and him to get him to the first stop at the bus at 6:15. And then the next stop, the assembly yard for the kids at 6:45. And then we tracked the bus out to each field every day because I was curious where he was going, what farmer. So at 7:15, he would work from 7:15 to about 2:30 in the afternoon. So he put in 55 hard hours over that space of time, including walking through fields that had water in them up to his knees.
Yeah.
That's definitely the rite of passage for any teenager.
he's on
Yeah.
13.
It-
You
it's-
said
You're making him porridge every morning, Barry?
You're damn right.
On purpose you were making them porridge?
And I put blueberries in it.
Okay, well that salvages it a bit. I didn't think people even ate porridge in 2021 anymore.
Well, and just an aside to that, I heard from somebody who does some hiring things, and if any kid puts on their resume that they detasseled corn, they get pushed to the top of that pile. So anybody that can get through, most of us did it. Some of us were silly enough to go back 2, 3, or 4 years later, but it was good money, and as a kid, so it does build some character, we'll say.
And my grandson is now able to buy an Xbox. That was his incentive to get going every day.
Now he's going to be sitting in front of the TV for a whole lot more than 55 hours, I'll tell you that. Last call on happy thoughts. I'll just kick off one. So I did finally had a 2-week stay in Ontario vacation. Lynn and I were up in Wyerton. We rented Sparky's Cottage for 2 weeks and quite enjoyed ourselves. The view out the bedroom door is just water. And unlike what Tony was plowing through with his kayak, ours was pretty much crystal clear. So I could see down easily 15, 20 feet. The problem was the water temperature was about 65, 66 degrees, did get up to about 70 one day. And it's darn cold up north. The water is anyways. So that'll finish off our happy thoughts. And when we get back together, everybody's going to have to put in a couple of toonies or something for our stories. Moving forward, we just want to, our birthdays for the month of August will be Rob Watson. He's coming right up August 6th. And Karen Kirkwood White, who's with us, she's coming up August 19th. So if we don't say it today or the next day or the day after that, happy birthday, Karen. Our club anniversaries, Rob Watson is at 35 years this month. Colin McGregor's 24 years. Sparky is 23 years in total. I now have 11 years under my belt, and Donna Litwin Makey has 10 years. So with that taken care of, I'm going to ask Henny Booters if she'll make sure she's unmuted, and the rest of us all will mute ourselves, and we'll have her introduce our guest speaker.
Hi guys, I got the bio from our just like presidents of actually our just governor here, and just like she's sitting in the right hand corner for me. Just like here we go, Brenda WooWoo, as she is commonly known currently, works in the corporate world and has interested in the business world. She has worked for AT&T for over 23 years. After a long outsourcing initiative in 2019, she is currently serving in a capacity as a corporate technical team lead, managing the IT enterprise storage operations for IBM, supporting the AT&T accounts. She is also a business partner in a growing anti-aging health and wellness company. Oh, that's fine. Brenda was invited to join the Livingstone Sunrise Club in 2012. She has been very active in chairing committees, planning events, and was club president in 2017-18, where she grew the club by 22 members. She was a district assistant governor for Sector 9 under Jane McManus and served as district membership chair under Sparky Leonard. Continuing with her Rotary career, she will be serving as our district governor for the year 21-22. She enjoys lake living, her winter home in Florida, boxing, yoga, boating, and is very thankful and blessed for her family and those that are close. She always spends time engaging in numerous volunteering activities and has 3 rescue colleagues that keep her very entertained. The floor is for Brenda.
Thanks, honey. Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys. Let me do this. So I want to first congratulate you guys on your 100-year anniversary. So I suspect that you are putting some festivities together, huh, Brett?
We are trying. Yeah, you can't do much when you're limited to about 25 people at a gathering.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be lifted soon. And yeah, keep me posted. That is a huge, huge accomplishment, you guys. And then as well as the Satellite Club finally getting its feet together or whatever. Yeah, it's unfortunate about RI, but now I think they're on the right track. So hopefully we'll keep me posted on that as well. So again, hi you guys, I'm Brenda K. WooWoo, Tipton with Livingston Sunrise Rotary. I'm gonna share my screen real quick and just go through a few things with you. You guys all see that?
All good.
Oh, good. All right. So this is just a little outline what's going to happen on this presentation. It'll go pretty quick and we can chat after. All right, just a little bit about me. Like Henny was talking to you about, I grew up in Livonia, Michigan, graduated from Livonia Stevenson, went to Oakland University in business management. I did play a little basketball. Woo. I relocated after college to Denver, Colorado. I did tell my mom that I'd be back in about a month or a couple months. I didn't come back until 20 years. She wasn't very happy with me. But anyway, upon return to Michigan, because I really missed family and I missed the water, and it was great that you were talking about that, because I totally love lake living, and they don't have a lot of lakes in Colorado. Anyway, so when I returned, I learned a lot of IT operations skills, programming and stuff like that when I was in Colorado on the job. And when I returned, I walked into an Ameritech, and I have since been with Ameritech, SCC, AT&T. They just changed the name, same company, for over 24 years. And like Penny was saying, there was a large outsourcing in 2019. And what they did was, in order to get some of the IT operations folks off of the books at AT&T, they sold us over to IBM. So I just changed AT&T to IBM, and I'm doing the exact same job for AT&T, but I'm with IBM now. So my Rotary career, I joined Livingston Sunrise Rotary in 2012. I obtained the name WooWoo from the club members. Actually, they say I named myself, but you know, whatever. And then I held quite a few district leadership or club leadership and district positions. My family life, I have a lifetime partner named Jill for way over 20 years. We live in kind of like a Frank Lloyd Wright, very modern, unique home off of Crooked Lake in Michigan. We have a retirement home in off the canals of Okeechobee, Florida. So if you guys know anything about Okeechobee, it's in the center of Florida, and it's the gator capital of the world. So I love the gators. I have 3 adopted rescue collies. Yes, they're all named Lassie. No, I'm just joking about that. Currently, I have 3 foster puppies. They're 5 weeks old. So if you hear some yipping, that's probably them. I love boxing, boating, yoga, golfing, volunteering, landscaping, staying healthy, and yes, I love big hair. I always have to say that because I just do. Anyway, I wanted to just give you some information about my Rotary journey. Back in 2012, when I walked into the open arms of Rotary, I really knew I found my family, but I was at a time where I really, really wanted to give back to the community and do something outside of myself, right? And when I walked into Rotary, I was like, oh my God. So I definitely didn't want to go there just for breakfast or lunch. I really wanted to change lives and change myself. So I jumped in with all feet and just got on in every committee I could, raised my hand, I'll be president, I'll be president. They're like, go away, you know? So anyway, finally, I became president in 2017, 2018, and it was probably the best year of my life. I mean, it was just phenomenal. I really had a great time. And during that time, when I was doing the club stuff, I was also learning about outside of the 4 walls of the Rotary Club itself. I'm like, what's a district? There's a district? So I started following people around, and you might remember Jim Gilmore, who's the past district governor. He was in my club at that time. So some of you might remember meeting me on the docks of Mackinac when I greeted you for his district conference. And that was like my first experience, and I haven't stopped yet. I just love Rotary. I love volunteering. I love doing anything and everything. And I'm really, really excited to be your Chief Encouragement Officer this year. So just a little something that I wanted to put in here, the structure of Rotary. So Rotary International is who we report to, right? And it's made up of zones. There's 34 zones across 220 countries all around the world. And those zones are made up of 529 districts. So we're one of 529 districts throughout the whole world. And there's 35,000 Rotary clubs, throughout the world, made up of, as you know,
Thank you.
1.2 million members. So this year is following every year in Rotary. There's always a theme when a new Rotary president comes in and the new governors come in and stuff like that. So this year, our theme is serve to change lives. And I think you'll all agree with me that this is a pretty amazing theme. And I think it just follows everything that we all feel, because I know I feel I'm here to serve, to change lives, as well as change myself. So it's all about goals and initiatives. So I have some goals that the Rotary RI president, Shekhar Mehta, gave to me and all the district governors throughout the world. And his goals to us is that he wants us to grow the number of members from 1.2 million, as I stated before, to 1.3. So he has a couple of initiatives with regard to each one, Bring One campaign. And I think you guys have probably started hearing about that, because we have a campaign within our district to increase membership called Each One Bring One. He also has some challenges on, building the participation in our club's events and stuff like that. He wants to empower the girls and women a little bit more by ensuring access to education, resources, and services. Open up the opportunities. He really, really wants us all to engage in more service projects throughout our community, as well as international and stuff like that, to bring more awareness to Rotary. So he's given us a couple things of, creating more Rotary Day, creating a Rotary Day of Service within our district in 2021, 2022. And another item is start new clubs. So he's all about membership, as you can see. And so he would like us at some point in time to start a new club. So I might even piggyback on that e-club or the satellite club, and then maybe see if we can enhance that a little bit. Anyway, so with regards to my corporate life and challenges and everything in my life, I'm all about goals and initiatives. So throughout my travels through the district and at the club level and stuff like that, I've seen some gaps. And, it was such an honor when I was nominated, and then I wanted to bring it, to the forefront. So I gave myself some goals, and Brett will also know about those goals. He's been on all the training and stuff like that. He's probably going, this girl's kind of crazy with her goals. But anyway, if you don't have goals, you won't get, I don't think you'll get really anywhere, because it's not measurable, right? If you don't have a goal. But goals are attainable, measurable, and I just love putting them into place. So anyway, a couple of my goals are to increase goals through input and common tools. So what that is, and Brett knows what I'm talking about, we have common tools with regards to how we manage our clubs and how we talk to Rotary International and stuff like that. So we really had a lot of training with regards to the common tools in developing the overall knowledge. I saw, before I became governor, I saw a huge gap between where, like, say, clubs were entering new members. Some were entering them in My Rotary or Rotary International, and some were entering in Club Runner, which is the club management tool, and they weren't connecting to each other. So we had a really big training events during the president training sessions and after on those tools, My Rotary and Club Runner. I also have a goal of 100% participation of goals through the President Citation. The President Citation is a goal that the President, the RI President gives to the district clubs, and it's made up of 15 items. And currently, I saw that Brett has entered his goals for this year, and he's already obtained 13 of the 15. You only need to fulfill 13. So I'm hoping that this year, 100% of the clubs will obtain the RI President Citation, And I do have to tell you, only 9 clubs did this last year. So I think we can do 100%. Another one of my goals, and I know Canada doesn't care about this, but we're going to establish a district 501c3, which will open up opportunities in our district for sponsorships, donations, and stuff like that. Introduce a support group by July 1st, which is a place where clubs can go to get help. New awareness and innovation, strengthening the membership team and innovative changes with regards to what we call regional membership leads. And your regional membership lead is Stuart Carr from Dresden. So, and then we have 3 other regional membership leads over in the US covering all 50 clubs. Enhance and expand social media and have some combined efforts for fundraising and awareness for World Polio Day, and just open the foundation pathways through change and innovation. So if that's not enough, I have more for you. I wanted to establish the most visible and accessible district leadership team through social media, emails, club presentations. Create a lot of awareness to you, the clubs, and the district about our foundation and every Rotarian every year, as well as Polio Plus. And I touched on it earlier, introduced the district internal leadership to training tools and reporting from Club Runner, My Rotary, social media, Facebook. The leaders, Brett himself and the district leaders, have all been trained on those tools. And I can successfully say that we are 100% syncing with RI. So all our numbers of members are in sync from our club input to Rotary International input. And that has never, ever been done before. So I'm pretty excited about that. Another one of my goals is an increased membership participation in district events. As most of you know, it's always like the same people all the time. And I know that Allison can attest to this, and Brett and Jennifer and stuff. It's always the same people who attend the district events. So I'm really, really going to try and get a lot of you to come and join some of the district events, because it's just amazing the things that are out there, the relationships you'll build by meeting these people. It's pretty exciting. And continue to build the culture to adapt by creating innovation, fundraising, and technology committees. All right, so we're already making waves. And I think you might have read about this in the first district bulletin that I sent. But we had some extra money due to the pandemic from last year, so we brought that forward, and the finance committee decided to absorb the cost for the president-elect to attend PET. Even though it was virtual and the price was cut in half, we still paid for all that. So your club recouped that $150 that would have cost you to send Brett to training, right, Brett? Anyway, the big one too was that the finance committee and myself decided that we're going to absorb all the district dues for the clubs from July 1st to December 31st, 2021. So you will have, your club will not get a bill from the district. You will, however, get a bill from RI, because RI is separate. They're like the mothership, you know, we pay them to be a club, but you will not get charged district dues to belong to the district. So that's pretty exciting. We've already increased district website members from 955 to well over 1,000 followers. Like I said before, our Ps have entered leadership in Club Runner. So I know, Brett, I'm going to call you out on this. I know that you are the membership chair, you're the treasurer, you're the secretary, you're the president. So you guys, I think Brett needs a little help, but he has them all entered. So that's a good thing. But he's also entered, like I said before, goals in Rotary Club Central. So way to go on that. And as you guys start doing, doing some fundraising and stuff like that, I know Brett's going to go in there and check them off. We'll get you that citation. I said before, Club Runner My Rotary is syncing with data consistency. Woo! That's really exciting, you guys. We've launched a Hub 6380, and I mentioned that before. It's a support group where clubs can go to get help. And usually, the clubs will say, well, I need help with this, and they'll come to me and I'll go, go to this group. Now, what I did was I formed a group where if Brett has an issue or a question, he can go to this group and get some help, talk about his struggles, talk about successes and stuff like that. We've started the charitable 501c3, and again, we've launched in the return of the monthly district bulletin. So I really, really want you guys involved, right? I really am asking all the clubs to come join me, get out of that pandemic thing. Let's get involved. And upcoming items on our docket are August 17th, and it's virtual. It's a Members First Summit, and we're going to have a speaker from Rotary International, Valerie Wafer, and it's going to focus all about membership, how we can work together to build membership, some tools, stuff like that, and what's going on in the district. So try to, and it's for free. So if you guys can attend that, that would be fantastic. Remember, my goal is to have 2 people at district events. So this is kind of a district event. September 29th, we're going to do something different that I have never seen done since 2012. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, not at the district level. We're going to have a Rotary member training where it's mostly focused to new members, but any member can come, and it's going to talk about Rotary. What is Rotary? How was Rotary founded? Kind of like what's the levels of Rotary? What does it do? Stuff like that. And we're really excited about that. August 23rd, well, it's not Polio Day, but it's Saturday, August 24th is World Polio Day. And what we're going to do for the whole month is put together a lot of fundraising and events from the district, supported by the district. You heard of the Shred Polio in the US, but I know you guys in Canada are doing Pizza for Polio and Pints for Polio and all different crocuses and stuff like that. So great job on that. October 29th and the 31st is RILA. Someone asked me the other day about, Canada and stuff like that. And we're just hoping the borders are open, right? So that we can bring, like, you guys usually bring about 25 people to RILA. So we're hoping that that will happen this year. November 13th is a multi-district foundation and membership gala. And if you remember 2 years ago when Sparky was our district governor, he had the same type of district event with 6,400. And that's our sister district here in Michigan and in Canada. And our guest speaker this year will be Jennifer Jones and Mike McGovern. He'll be talking about Polio Plus. So get that on your docket. It's going to be in the US. We're going to have a multi-district peace conference coming up in Ann Arbor on March 11th through 12th. So that's really new on the docket, and you'll hear more about that. We're going to have an all-member environmental workday, kind of following Shake Our Mentors, have a workday. I think this will be a great one, you guys, and maybe we can get a bus and have you guys all come over and really enjoy the day together. Workday, getting to know other members and stuff like that. And then in May, and the borders better be open, nothing better be happening. I'm going to have a district conference, and this district conference is going to be a little different than all the ones I've ever been to. And it's all about you guys, the clubs. We're going to have a house of friendship where each club will have a table so that you can bring your flags, stuff that, with regards to your 100-year celebration, your bingo event, stuff like that. Tell us about you. I'm also going to have the clubs go up on the stage and present to everybody in the audience just what you guys do, how unique you are, what you do as a club that makes you successful. And it's all about you guys. And then June 4th and 8th is Rotary International Convention in Houston. If you have not been to a Rotary International Convention, I highly recommend it. It shouldn't be that expensive to get to. I said that we'd send about 50 to 100 people. Currently we have 32 signed up. We're going to have a district get together, stuff like that, but it's a pretty amazing event where people come from all over the world. All right, so I have a couple other things for you guys. I have speakers for you, right? And I'm going to ask Brett, and I don't know who your speaker person is. Brett, it's probably you, right?
Oh, Jennifer.
Yeah, okay, Jennifer. I'm putting that, we're going to fix that in Club Running. But anyway, Jennifer, I have speakers for you, and they're very eager to come and talk to you guys about membership, foundation, training, public image, youth exchange, youth services. They're all district leaders of the committees, and we really want them to come and talk to you guys, give a presentation. You can ask questions. What is foundation? What's new with membership? Hey, tell me a little bit about the district Facebook, stuff like that. So get them on your docket. And Jennifer, I'll send you the link of the org chart. You'll see everyone on there. Point, click, and ask them to present, set up a date, and they'll come and talk. Another thing I want to ask you guys, reach out. I want you to join some committees. It doesn't take that much to really step out of the four walls and get on one of these committees. It doesn't take a lot of time. We're always, always, always looking for people to help support these areas within the district, outside the four walls. I know, Brett, and you have everybody on your club working together, but this is a little bit of outside. And again, you guys, it won't take a lot of time, but it'll really enhance your knowledge of Rotary, our district, and it'll make friendships and stuff like that, kind of like I did. Again, I didn't go to my Rotary club to have breakfast and stuff like that. I went there to change myself and change lives. Being on these committees will change yourself and change lives. So I challenge you guys. I'm really going to challenge you to donate and stuff like that to the foundations, every Rotarian every year, Polio Plus, and possibly, I think have you guys done a district grant? I'm not sure, but look into those things. Get that foundation person on your docket to present. Training, attend that Rotary membership training September 29th. Create an event. When you have your 100-year event scheduled, create an event on Facebook so everyone in the district knows about it. Submit a club story. I think we should submit a club story about the satellite club, Brett and you guys. And post your events. So if you post something about your club, you can post about your upcoming meetings and stuff like that on Facebook. The more engagement, bring us all together, knowing what each club is doing. Recruit attendees to RILA, as I mentioned before, and possibly have 2 members attend the upcoming peace conference. I shouldn't write committee, but peace conference that's coming up in March. Attend the environmental work day that I chatted to you about. And for sure, if nothing else, you guys, I really want you to think about getting your booth together for the district conference, and really, as well as your presentation, and getting up there and telling everyone about the wonderful Club of Chatham and what you guys do. So with that said, I just really want to let you guys know that I am just very honored to be in this position And I don't call myself the district governor. I call myself your CEO, Chief Encouragement Officer, right? Because I'm your #1 fan. I'm here to support you. I'm really, if you need anything, let me know. I'll make sure you go to another group. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free to, come to me if you need anything, let me know. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all in person, hopefully attending your 100 year, because that is an amazing feat. And I congratulate all of you for everything you do. Woo-woo! Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brenda. Really appreciate that. And as I mentioned before, I guess I had the Chief Encouragement Officer not quite right. So I've made a note to remind myself to take that off in the right context. So again, thank you very much. Many things indicating that there's room for us to do much more in Rotary, and I think we all enjoy what we do, and maybe we can eke out and do a little bit more. So thank you once again for attending our first meeting of our Centennial. Just moving forward on that, I'd like to ask Peter Tanner if he could come forward and just give us a bit of an update on his Guatemala work and what's happening, Peter.
Okay, Brenda, speaking of global grants, I'll kind of work backwards to frontwards. The most recent situation with a global grant in Guatemala, we got a response from Rotary International towards the end of June with all the questions that they wanted to ask. Fewer questions than they did with Bredias, but quite a bit of work that needed to be done. We needed to quiz all the schools. One of the other groups participating in this project in Washington State kind of contributed $500 so we could hire somebody to go to all the schools. The schools are closed, go to all the principals' houses to get all the information that the Rotary adjudicator, Maria Emig, wanted to get. We were kind of getting things together, but then the Lucani Contreras, whom you'll all meet at some point because she's going to do a presentation for us at some point, went to Guatemala City to get a COVID vaccine, a 9-hour drive. And when she got there with her sister and husband, her sister had significant COVID symptoms, and she had minor COVID symptoms. They were put in quarantine for 2 weeks, and her sister ended up needing oxygen. She ended up testing positive at first, and then a few days later tested negative. But basically, she forgot to take her phone. She had no computer, so the whole project ground to a stop, of course. But the situation we're so lucky here with the vaccines that we have. In 3 members of the Payten Rotary Club have COVID right now. All kinds of, it's normal to say in conversations, oh, did you hear so-and-so died? And oh yeah, and this person died. The devastation of COVID in developing countries, in Guatemala, only 11% of the people have had their first dose of the vaccine, and that's a huge increase since just a couple of weeks ago. So organizing these projects has become way more difficult when all of a sudden someone disappears into quarantine for a few weeks. But Luciani is feeling better, is back, and we're trying to get the answers to Maria within the next week or so. So that's what's happening with the Payten thing. And there's a huge, Brenda, so you know, there's a big, I think I may have told you before, a girl empowerment aspect to this project that we have added. And it really will expand the use of the Rachel systems. Plus also water management, watershed management, anti-pollution. And 2 things, we're getting more stuff from COST in Calgary, the Center for Advanced Affordable Water Sanitation Technology. We're getting menstrual hygiene component added to Rachel, and another component just on water and sanitation added to Rachel. That's not part of the project, but it will end up improving the project, and we'll make sure that we get the training involved. Last week, I had a long conference call with Obdulio Herrera, who Denise will of course remember and Paul will remember. He was the person leading the project in Barrias, and he is basically saying, well, they're in a red zone. They can't do anything. He has all the schools set up for the year 3, but it won't be until enough people are vaccinated for the numbers to get down enough for the schools to open, and then we will move forward. We have to do our 3rd annual report. We have talked to Maria Emig. We will just basically do a semi-null report. We'll provide her with all the documentations from the various schools that are going to be part of the year 3 rollout. And let's say we have had to delay the year 3 rollout, and it's now going to become a year late. And the water project in Nuevo Eden that we're doing with the Eastman's Clinic is moving forward, but the latest information I have that anyone has on that in North America is from February, and I actually presented it to the club in February. I have the document in Spanish if anybody wants to see it. It's got lots of photos, neat photos of septic tanks and things of that sort. If you like seeing that kind of document, I would be willing to send it to you in PDF file. Anyway, that's it from Guatemala, unless there are any questions.
Any questions? Allison, please.
My question is probably more to Brenda, but it relates exactly to what Peter was talking about. Brenda, it's really nice to see you. Congratulations.
Good to see you.
Thrilled to have you leading us this year. Has there been any discussion at any level of Rotary International about vaccine assistance to developing countries with COVID? We have such a robust infrastructure vaccine delivery system for polio. I'm wondering if there's discussion already happening anywhere else above us, or if there's ways that even club level activities could help get vaccines to places like Guatemala where they clearly really need it. Because of, and I mean, I guess it's sort of a selfish request because we can't fulfill our projects like Peter has been working on for literally years if COVID is such an issue, such a disruption. So it would be, if there's anything I would be really interested in learning more about that, if there is anything to share.
So yes, and it was very interesting. Dr. Pandek had the Waterford Rotary Club have Dr. Pandek, the one from Polio Plus, that's been a director for RI for like over 20 years. And she was saying exactly what you said. They are using our Rotary infrastructure to deliver vaccines to all over the world. Now, to follow up, I don't know if we can jump in and get involved, like, go and do a mission or anything. I don't know about that part. She didn't really touch on that, but she says that she did mention more than once that our infrastructure that we have built is being utilized in conjunction with getting the vaccine delivered. Good question. So
thanks. Well, if you hear anything on that front, please let us know, because I would be curious to know how else we're helping on that front. Thanks.
Definitely. I'll check it out. Thanks. Good seeing you, Allison.
Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Allison. Any other questions with regard to Guatemala? Okay, just moving along then. I sent out a notice that we received the Bronze Hero Award from Shelterbox for 2020-2021. And I've had a couple of inquiries back as to what we can try to set up for this year. So we will be researching something to jump in and maybe do a little bit better if possible on something for 2021-2022. So something along the line, if we can find matching grants or anything, or maybe we might have to do it ourselves on a club level. And with regard to that, following along with that, Ride Don't Hide for mental health, which took place in June, the local area raised over $33,000. So I think that is, well attributed to the Rotary clubs within Chatham-Kent who got together and put a push on and helped it along quite a bit, both in publicity, membership involvement. So I think we did really well, and probably have ourselves a pretty good route for next year. And who knows, next year could be in person by the time we get to that event. Other announcements, I wanted to make sure that we had anybody with a little bit of time. We need a little bit of help at the bingo studio on Tuesday nights. Just a few more people for backup on phones and computer and stuff like that. So if anybody's got a little bit of time, please let Les know, and we'll try to break you in slowly. As well, we need anybody to volunteer for board member. Treasurer is needed. I was hoping Bruce might be with us today, but I think he's in the middle of two things. Bruce unfortunately had a COVID situation with his daughter. And so she has been isolating at home in a upper bedroom. So she's been stuck in her bedroom for many, many days. And next week, the moving truck pulls in and he's packed up and moving to Meaford. So a tough time for that to happen just now. So Bruce has, excuse me, done an amazing job for us as treasurer, getting us back on track. Excuse me. And with his absence, I don't want us to fall behind. So we're definitely in need of a treasurer to step up. As I mentioned earlier, maybe in September, we will look to possible in-person. We'll just kind of glide along this way until we see how things pan out. Next week, we will have a membership induction. Tina Hodgson was supposed to get inducted at the end of last year, but problems came up. Today, I already know she's working on a big proposal for her company. So hopefully next week we'll get that induction in place. And just let the cat out of the bag. I received in the mail when I got home a Paul Harris +2. I received 2 Paul Harris's +2. So Tony and Jennifer Hill have another presentation coming forward, and congratulations to them. And as far as Rotary goes, thank you very much for all that they do, because it's a lot, much behind the scenes. If you were privileged to look at our speaker chart, Jennifer has us booked to the end of November. So we have many speakers in place. She works on that. I don't know what she does to twist all the arms and stuff, but I like it. So keep doing it, Jennifer. It's very much appreciated. Let's see, I think I got everything in there. So that will take care of today's meeting. Is there anything else for Rotary? I do have to comment, Allison, that you kind of look like you're heading off on a safari. You must be out at the park.
That's right. I'm in the porch. I need to shelter from the sun, Brett.
Yeah, it's a good idea too.
Or, as my fishing hat. If I was fishing, I'd wear this fishing too.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to cover up, that's for sure. Okay, so that will conclude our meeting for today. I'll ask Julia if you will play us out, please. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week, if not before. So take care and stay safe.
Great to see everybody again.
Have a
Thank you,
good week,
Brenda.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye,
Brenda.
everyone.
Nice seeing everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Bye.
Thank you, Brenda.
Here.